At the heart of all elements that influence our perception of time is one simple factor: focus. Or specifically, how much we zoom in or zoom out on moments. When we zoom in, time feels more intense, for better or for worse. When we zoom out, time feels more distant, for better or for worse. And to visualize this, let's map it on a 2x2 matrix, which gives us 4 emotional time zones. Looking at how we as humans work, it's very hard to take a negative thought outside our control and magically flip it into something positive. It's however much easier to shift from a negative thought to another negative thought. In this example, from a negative thought outside our control to a negative thought inside our control. And from there, reason ourselves into positivity by finding solutions for our issues. There are 2 dimensions that shape how your message lands: the clarity of the message, what you actually say, and the emotional safety of delivery. The emotional bomber is when we speak in a way that's both unclear and unsafe, like "you're lazy" or "you're a bad listener." The hint dropper is when we speak unclearly but safely, like "it's fine" or "no, it's nothing." The truth without mercy is when we speak clearly but unsafely, like "I think your performance was horrible" or "that's the ugliest kid I've ever seen," which is a bit too direct. The mindful communicator is when we speak clearly and safely, like "when you walked past me without saying a word, I felt sad, as I want to feel seen. Can you please say hi next time?" This is also known as non-violent communication, which should be a golden standard, as it gets you heard. And only when we make ourselves heard, intimacy has the chance to grow. Think of a relationship like a house. And one day you noticed a leak in the roof. But instead of fixing it, you put a bucket underneath. And for sure, it works for a while. But somehow the leak keeps on dripping. And over time, the water spreads. And the longer it takes, the more the whole structure weakens. And years later, suddenly the full roof collapses from something that actually could have been easily fixed in the beginning by one single repair. And this is what you do by not setting boundaries. And while avoidance feels safe in the moment, it only makes the eventual collapse more painful. How do we start feeling again when we have been numbed for so many years? Point number 1, wake up your body. You can't think your way into emotion. You have to feel your way in there. So breathe, move, take a cold shower, everything that wakes up your nervous system. Secondly, create space to listen. If you want to feel again, you need to give your emotions more room. That tension in your chest, that uneasy feeling in your gut, that's emotion trying to tell you something. And thirdly, once you have cleared the noise in your body, start feeding your feelings again. Listen to music that moves you. Watch a film that makes you cry. Go outside. Call that one friend who really gets you. Anything to remind your body how good it feels to feel. The real wealth of life is the range of emotions we experience. And once we reconnect to that, you will not just feel more alive, you will finally be alive. You know what quietly kills most relationships? It's not cheating, big fights or different goals. It's how we're understood. I remember this so vividly from past relationships that the girlfriend would say, "You've been away a lot lately." But all I heard was, "You're messing up, you're not good enough." Well, she probably just meant, "I miss you. Can you be home a little more?" Or she would say, "Can you pay a bit more attention?" Which in my mind instantly translated to, "You're doing it wrong, again." Well, she probably just meant, "Can I have your attention right now?" The problem with feeling attacked so quickly is that your nervous system instantly flips you into fight or flight mode. And before we knew it, we were in a negative spiral, being 2 people with good intentions, pushing each other to places neither of us wanted to go. So why is not putting boundaries in place often so destructive? Firstly, there's the concept of cognitive dissonance, which describes that when you act fine but feel hurt in the inside, you basically split yourself in 2. Which does not only create tension within yourself and your relationship, but also impacts your confidence. Because who are you? Secondly, there's the boundary theory, which describes that when you don't state your limits, people cross them unknowingly. And while you then might feel resentful afterwards, they feel blindsided. And thirdly, there's the theory of social reciprocity. If you never share your frustrations, others will assume all is well. Summarizing, Being always agreeable doesn't protect your connection with others, it erodes it, and over time becomes its own form of lying. Most people having only flat emotions. Even when something beautiful happens, like a wedding, a sunrise, a kiss, they don't actually feel it. They know it's supposed to be special because they see how others react, but it doesn't land in their body. It's like living behind soundproof glass. You see emotions occurring, but you can't hear or feel it yourself. And what's the fun of that? So let's explore how to fix this. If you feel something in your life is missing and you avoid looking at it, you are an ignorant optimist. You stay hopeful by pretending everything is fine, telling yourself it will happen eventually, while quietly delaying the life you actually wanted. If you see what is missing in your life, but you try to outrun that feeling, you are a desperate striver. You stay busy, chase goals, fill your calendar, anything to avoid sitting still long enough to feel the disappointment underneath. If you see clearly what's missing in your life, but you feel powerless to change it, you're a wounded realist. You feel the gap deeply, but the weight of that truth just freezes you. Feeling everything, changing nothing. And lastly, if you acknowledge what is missing in your life and still move gently towards what is possible, you are an empowered griever. You grieve the life you didn't get without losing sight of the life you can still build. So, how do you grieve? I used to believe that everyone is responsible for their own interpretation of words. If I said something harsh, their job to deal with it. If my words landed wrongly, their responsibility. But over time, my viewpoints changed. If you push someone strongly and they act on it, you do share responsibility. Or if you explain something in a way that you're misunderstood, you do share responsibility. Sure, underlying intentions matter too, but they don't erase the impact of your delivery, as you can mean well and still cause a mess, or love someone and still make them hurt. Intentions don't magically create clarity, words do.
With that, the 2025 season comes to an end. Good night.